Good morning, Tar Heels. So today is going to be an asynchronous learning day, meaning that we're not going to have a live Zoom session, but you are expected to complete an assignment through Canvas. Today's assignment is going to be a Google form, which includes 2 reading passages. Egypt, Mummies, and Pharaohs. Read the following passages about ancient Egyptian mummies and pharaohs. Then complete the multiple choice questions by choosing the best response from the choices provided. Put your first name, last name, and then choose the correct class period of when you have social studies. Mummies reading passage. Mummies are often portrayed in horror films as frightful undead creatures. During the 20th century, the idea of a curse was added to these kinds of stories to make mummies even more terrifying. Yet in truth, mummies are not that scary, and they are definitely quite dead. Fictional mummies have also been featured in comics and cartoons. A funny mummy was even once used as a logo for a monster-themed breakfast cereal. In truth, though, mummies are very real and very interesting, especially to archaeologists and ecologists. A mummy is a body whose skin and flesh have been preserved in some way. Chemicals, extreme cold, very low humidity, or lack of air can preserve the skin and flesh. The process can be done on purpose, or a body can be preserved by accident. Mummies of humans and animals have been found throughout the world. Some have been preserved naturally under unusual conditions, while others were preserved by humans using several different methods. The best known mummies are in ancient Egypt, but other civilizations are known to have preserved bodies as well. The Persians sometimes mummified their kings and nobles in wax. The Chinese packed bodies in herbs and cedar coffins. And the people in Chile, Peru, and even Sicily off the Italian coast were also known to preserve bodies, in addition to those preserved on purpose. Naturally preserved mummies have been found in places around the world. Answer the following questions by choosing the best answer from the choices provided. Egyptian pharaohs. The term pharaoh was originally used by the Egyptians to describe their kings. In fact, it was the ancient Greeks and Hebrews in the Old Testament Bible who first used this term. It was coined based on the Egyptian word for great house, para. It wasn't until about 1450 BC that Egyptians called their leaders pharaohs in the king of Kemet, the Egyptian word for Egypt. According to Egyptian legend, some of the Egypt's early kings were also famous gods. This may cause confusion when studying Egyptian history, but nonetheless the kings were considered a god or the child of one. By most accounts, he or she, in few cases, was believed to be the human form of the god Horus, the falcon. The Egyptian god-kings were very powerful. Each served as head of the government, leaders of the armies, and chief priests of the kingdom. The pharaoh had a great deal of responsibility for the well-being of his people. He had to keep order and to protect the kingdom, and perhaps most importantly, please the gods so that they would cause the Nile River to flood at the right time and bless Egypt with a rich harvest. Failure at this task could greatly weaken the pharaoh and even bring about the fall of his dynasty. After 2 kingdoms, the Upper and Lower Egypt, were united. The Egyptian monarchy lasted for over 3,000 years. Though some changes occurred, rule remained basically the same. Power was usually passed to the oldest son, often proclaimed during the father's lifetime. This practice has also confused scholars because in some cases a new king might begin to rule after his father's death, while in others he began when the father was still alive. Since the Egyptian dating system was based on years of the king's rule, it is easy to understand the confusion. Answer the following questions by choosing the best answer from the ones provided. Then click the Submit button at the end and you finish this assignment. Have a great day. Thanks.